Hey guys, I do have a Friday morning editorial for you. It's coming out of Fort Worth, Texas. Now, I've done a couple out of Fort Worth recently, and I believe I have another one coming out of Fort Worth. But I do have some great editorials coming over the next week, so you're not going to want to tune away, or you're going to miss some good stuff. So make sure to stay tuned here, or you're going to miss some great editorials. Now, remember when I talked about the Rialto Police Department and how these cops get all jacked up throughout the day. They want to punch somebody. They want to pepper spray somebody. They want to arrest. I love putting handcuffs on people. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, shit, they build jails because of me. Judges have handed out over 15,000 man-years of incarceration time based on my investigations, okay? My record speaks for itself. How many felons have you collared?
They get all jacked up at work, and then they go home. They need an outlet. So what do? They punch the spouse. Or they punch the kids, or they, kick the dog. They need an outlet. And that's why we see so much domestic violence among the law enforcement, like this guy. Thank you to NBCDFW.com. That's NBC Dallas, Fort Worth. A Fort Worth police officer resigned Wednesday after he was arrested by the Burleson Police Department. Former Corporal Joe Collins was arrested on February 8th for assault with bodily injury of a family member.
Then who the fuck are you out there every time I turn my back? Huh?
Leave her alone!
Get out of this room, Sean, now!
At that time, Collins was placed on restricted duty by the Fort Worth Police Department, which includes confiscating his gun, badge, and suspension of all police powers. While under investigation by the Burleson Police Department and the Internal Affairs Department of the Fort Worth Police Department, it was discovered that Collins had been involved in a second domestic violence incident, which he was arrested for on Wednesday. Collins resigned from the Fort Worth Police Department shortly after his arrest, and Chief Neil Noakes accepted his resignation. Noakes did note in a press release that had Collins not resigned as quickly as he did, he would have been fired by the police department. The press release from the Fort Worth Police Department states the Fort Worth Police Department takes allegations of domestic violence very seriously, and we do not condone this type of behavior, especially involving a member of our department. We have very high standards for our personnel, and we will continue to hold them accountable. So far, Burleson police have not released any further information about the incidents. So this off-duty Fort Worth police officer was arrested by the Burleson Police Department on an alleged domestic violence incident. His second. Now remember what I said. These cops, they get all jacked up at work. They just want to put on the handcuffs, man. I want to hit somebody so bad. And then they go home and they're jacked up on adrenaline and they punch the wife or they beat the kids or they, and we're seeing it. I mean, you guys can say, oh, you're just talking bad about cops. But I do editorials on domestic violence, sexual offenses, and assault and battery of police officers every month, every week, I was going to say. I don't know how often, but I've done so many. I have over 4,000 videos, and hundreds of them are cops who are not the victim. They're the aggressor. Sexual offenses, domestic violence, assault and battery, which is violence on another person. But you know what? These police chiefs always have the same line that I guess it's something they're taught when you become a police chief. We hold our officers to a very high standard. Well, if that's true, then you wouldn't have cops on the street that are rude, that don't know how to talk to people. I get that you're a law enforcement officer. I get that you have to give instructions to people all day. Pull over here. I need you to step out of the car. Okay? I need you to turn around. Place your hands in the back of your head. I'm going to do a frisk on you. I get all of that. You're doing instructions all day. But not everybody you run into is a suspect. Not everybody you run into is a criminal. Sometimes you run into residents, citizens, just normal people. You need to learn how to talk to people. You don't have to yell and give instructions and I'm going to arrest you if you don't obey me right now. I'll say it one more time, now I'm going to arrest you. You don't have to talk to people like that. You talk to people like that because you have no testicular fortitude in doing your job. Because if you had testicles, you would be more confident and you'd be able to like, okay, you know what? Appreciate what you're saying. I hear everything you're saying and I appreciate you. If I could please have you step over here for me, it'd be great. Hey, you know what? You're welcome. Thank you, buddy. You're great. Okay, thank you, man. No, you have to say, I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna arrest you, because that's how it was when you were in school. You got bullied. You got beat up. You probably got punched and ran across campus. But now you have a badge and you have a gun and you got handcuffs. And so now you can be the bully. Now you don't have to be bullied. Now you are the bully. You see how that works? You see how that goes full circle? But if you learn how to talk to people, I'm talking to law enforcement officers, if you would learn how to talk to people, you would get a more positive response from people. And you wouldn't be on YouTube all the time being talked about. And you know what else you wouldn't be doing? Beating the wife and kicking the kids. Because that's what they do. They're right here. I'm not saying every police officer does that. Of course they don't. That would be stupid to say that. But so many do, and we see why. Because they get all jacked up at work, the adrenaline, the anger, the aggression. They go home, they need an outlet.
Come on now, kill me. Be a murderer like your father. Come on, all you criminals are murderers anyway. Come on, kill me. Get out of here.
I hate you!
Now, go ahead. Now I'll kill you. You guinea brat. Get out of here.
Put a punching bag in your basement. Go down there and swing on it for an hour after you get off shift. Then you can go up and love the kids and wife. You see. See how that works? Thank you for watching, guys. Community Leo Watch. Watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers, to include those that beat their spouses and from coast to coast.